them, can we identify the ocean of love, the boundary breaking, paradigm shifting, veil parting, toroidal field of divine love that we all are, the compassion and the grace that we bring into this world? Can we take a moment and say thank you to ourselves and have compassion to ourselves? That is the truth of who and what we are. And can we give ourselves the grace of that when we are in the process of forgiving ourselves, or in the process of painful growing experiences that I know for myself that I would want to tear myself apart over? It's just like, that's an old way of how I've treated myself for many years in the past. Just like when I was growing up, if I did something wrong, it could involve somebody's life, or it was a life or death experience, like a legitimate life or death experience. I know that some of you who follow my work have experienced that same level of trauma, where it's just like, there wasn't a margin for error. There wasn't a margin for the human experience. And so, it's like part of my divine feminine Christ leadership is coming to terms with that there is a margin for my humanity. It's just like, I get to have my human journey just like everyone else. And that's been one of the greatest and hardest challenges for me in this role. And it's really special to share that with each of you today, because honestly, this is not a day that I would flip on a YouTube live. In the past, this would be the day that I would do the exact opposite. I would go and just try to, prayer, meditation at best, or at worst, just go spend a couple of hours beating myself up. Even after doing all the right things to make sure that everything, it's just like that's how hard on myself I have been in the past. And it's just like, I don't want to be that person to myself anymore. And I know that you don't want to be that person to yourself either. It's just like, it's time for us to have real, authentic compassion for ourselves, for our willingness to be heroically human at such a really, really challenging time on the planet. Like, this message that Quan Yin offers us, from the Sophia Code is it's everything, I think, right now. I mean, the whole message of the Sophia Code is everything, but I'm just going to read that line one more time. It was just so meaningful to me today. In your human journey of self-mastery, there is just so much to let go of. When you feel drawn to my presence as a mentor, this is a sign that you are ready to heal your relationship with suffering. My hands up. Yes, please. The rays of Sophia's light, carried within my water teachings, offer a safe sanctuary for you to honor and let go of your greatest wounds, fears, and insecurities. So he's like, I'm sharing one of my greatest woundings and one of my greatest fears and insecurities is letting people down. It's just like, because in my early past, letting people down involved life or death situations. So it's just like, the greatest healing from that is to just be honest. It's like, there's going to be moments that are absolutely and perfectly perfect where I let people down. And it's just like, I still get to love myself and forgive myself and have compassion for myself and keep serving. It's just like, what Quan Yin mentors us in is, we can't give in to punishing ourselves anymore. We don't have the luxury of that anymore. We need each other too much. We all need to be fulfilling our divine purpose. It's such a profound level at this time. There's just so many people that need to learn that they can forgive themselves too. So we're going first. We're going first with our hot mess human lives that are absolutely, totally divine. It's just like what I shared in the Green Tara, the journey, the 21 days of Green Tara. our humanity doesn't cancel out our divinity, and our divinity doesn't become any less because of our humanity. It's we get to alchemize our suffering into this gold of compassion that becomes an embodiment for others to even consider that they can forgive themselves, to even consider that they don't have to keep repeating patterns or addictions or sabotaging their life. It's just like, the more we thrive through our self-compassion, the more we rise in one another's success. And I just want to thank you for taking this moment to drop in with beautiful Quan Yin's teachings from the Sophia Code, and for the opportunity to really practice vulnerability with you, because every day there's more and more people that come to the Sophia Code, and every day, my team and myself, we're always doing the very best we can to serve the amount of attention that keeps coming our way, and we're so grateful for all of it. And it's just like, and there's just going to be moments where we have growing pains too, and my prayer is that through my own self-compassion, that I'm modeling something that we can all offer each other through our growing pains, as we're all being called into so much of our purpose and leadership. If you'd like, we can just take a moment and just welcome Quan Yin into this space. And it's so interesting, because I always thought that Quan Yin's story in the Sophia Code is so incredibly powerful that I often feel like page 233 to 235 gets kind of overlooked, because her story in the Sophia Code, it reads like a movie. I mean, it's her story, Mary Magdalene and White Buffalo Woman. The beginning of their revelations are just like off the charts, beautiful to read. It's like watching a movie. And so I always wondered if people I always wonder who really catches how powerful this introduction is that Quan Yin offers us before her very powerful story, because the story can kind of almost become bigger than what the lead up is to it. And in the beginning of her introduction, where she says, "I am Quan Yin, and it is with great joy that I reveal myself as Keycode 6 in the Sophia Dragon Tribe." She's the only one that says it that way. I loved that she wanted it to say that she was a part of the Sophia Dragon Tribe, just the way that she said it. And she said, my Sophia embodiment title is She of 1,000 Waters, for my transmission overflows with the light of Sophia, carried within water. My Keycode 6 transmission activates the divine qualities within you that are also the holy properties of water. Oh, wait. I'm going to jump down to the bottom of the page. It says, when you invoke me as a spiritual guide, I overlight your human journey with several rays. There's all these wild birds just showed up. With several rays of Sophia's light that mentor your awareness to give and receive self-love and self-compassion. The first is the rose quartz ray of Divine Mother's love. The second is the gentle white light that pierces all darkness. And the third is the aquamarine ray of rebirth, courage, and divine service. See, isn't that interesting how they're all wrapped up together? I broadcast the quantum energy of these rays through the light within water, which carries the ferocity of my compassion. Such an interesting choice of words. The ferocity of my compassion is a gentle mist that soothes your body, heart, and mind. So let's just take a moment and welcome Quan Yin into this space, calling forth Quan Yin, Keycode 6 of the Sophia Code. Beautiful Quan Yin, her beautiful serene face full of compassion for our human journey, her heart full of grace. Her presence is so divinely peaceful. That beautiful piercing white light that she blesses our heart with. And we welcome that rose quartz ray of Divine Mother's love. That Quan Yin's presence just as soon as you invoke her, you can feel that pink, energetic, compassionate presence of Divine Mother's love, this unconditional divine love filling our body, hearts, and minds. That presence of Sophia's unconditional divine love, always there, no matter how much pain we're in, no matter how much we're struggling to forgive ourselves, that divine love is always there. And welcoming in that second ray from Quan Yin, the gentle white light that pierces all darkness. Oh my God, that light. I feel it just going right through my heart in this moment, just surgically removing self-doubt, self-blame, anything that I could punish myself with. I feel it completely dissolving with that gentle white light that pierces all darkness. And that gentle white light brings the truth of how loved we are. So deeply loved, so deeply held. So as it's surgically removing what no longer serves us, it's also filling us with that profound and prolific piercing white light of Quan Yin's compassion, grace, and love, and that she's seeing the perfection. Always the perfection in every present moment. Everything that appears to be a mistake, another opportunity to grow, right? Another opportunity to heal and to be empowered and be set free and liberated from the past stories, the past traumas, right? And then that third ray is the aquamarine ray of rebirth, courage, and divine service. Isn't that interesting how those three things are all woven together in that aquamarine ray? Aquamarine is one of my favorite colors. Feeling the presence of the aquamarine ray being carried both in light and water as a blessing from Quan Yin over our body, hearts, and minds. Rebirthing us in the awareness of how loved we are, of how held we are, and how courageous we are. Rebirthing us into an awareness that through compassion, through self-forgiveness, through self-love, we can continue to show up to our divine service. We can continue to align with aquamarine. Is interesting. That color is a combination of an emerald ray and a blue ray. Blue ray is associated with aligning and consecrating your free will to divine will, to fulfilling your divine purpose. The emerald ray is consecrated to healing. So when you have the aquamarine ray, you are consecrating yourself to the divine will of healing through your divine service. That's what you're aligning your divine service to. Healing through divine will. And what does divine will seek for us? It seeks for us to prosper in all ways. The only way that we can prosper in all ways is to liberate ourselves from the suffering that holds us to the traumas of the past, so that we can be fully empowered in the present moment. Feeling the presence of Quan Yin, bringing in that deep certainty of how held we are in our learning experiences, even in the painful ones, where sometimes that pain brings forward some of the greatest growth we could ever experience. And just hearing her say, read that line, I teach you how to soothe your experiences of vulnerability with patience, and to refrain from pressuring yourself to prematurely move beyond unresolved pain. The imbalanced mental strategy to banish or hide away pain to be dealt with at some unknown future juncture has never worked nor ever will. This is why I love mentoring with the Ascended Masters, because I always feel empowered with Quan Yin, with Mary Magdalene, with Mother Mary, to go right into the heart of my pain. It's like, I don't have to run away from it. I can run right towards it. You know, I can have even the courage to talk about it on YouTube Live. It's just like, because Quan Yin is right here by my side. It's just like, you know, it's just like what Jesus said, all things are possible through Christ consciousness. It's like when we mentor with the Ascended Masters such as Quan Yin, it's like not only can we face our pain and our greatest trauma, we can become victorious by being fully present to it, both to what we need to feel about it, and also to gather what we're learning from it and how to create right action from it. Like if we need to correct ourselves or make an adjustment, it's just like mentoring with Quan Yin and Mother Mary, and I said all of them. I mean, all of these key codes in the Sophia code were perfectly selected for us to experience our greatest awakening and our greatest self-acceptance of who we are in our heroic human journey. So I want to say thank you so much from my heart to yours to take this time to slow down together, to be patient with what we're learning, to be patient with our journey of self-compassion and self-forgiveness and self-love, and to remember that it's a moment-by-moment journey, that we can resource the Ascended Masters in any of those moments for support, and hopefully all of those moments. You know, we don't always remember to call them in, but when we do, it really shifts the energy and it really uplifts us and supports us to understand that we don't have to define ourselves by the suffering of our past. We can live totally in the present moment, even if it hurt, even if it feels painful. It's like we can be real about that too. So thanks for choosing love. Thanks for sharing this moment with me. And thank you for all your continued prayers and support of my perfectly imperfect human leadership. And thank you for your very brave journey. And I invite you to read Quan Yin's chapter, especially over these next few weeks, out loud at your altar. Revisit her initiation. We just had a bazillion planets go into retrograde, so that means we're going to be revisiting wounds that we have healed to a certain level that want to heal at the next level. So it's okay to go back and revisit this beautiful initiation, the Sophia Code with Quan Yin, and go deeper into those layers. That's like, it's not about did you heal it up enough. It's just like anything you've healed up to this point in your life is wonderful and powerful, and it's okay if there's more layers that want your loving attention at this time. And Quan Yin is such a beautiful mentor to work with, and you can learn all about her in the Sophia Code and walk through that beautiful and very powerful initiation, the Sophia Code, with her at this time. It'll really support you. So thank you so much. All my love to you. This was fun and really helpful for me too. So thank you so much. Namaste.